Good evening, everybody. System Jock here with another episode of the Apostle Obsonate playthrough as Ike Upscribe. This is probably going to be the second to last of a series of videos that I'm recording well in advance because I'm going on vacation, so I'm going to be... the problem is that, all of this is following a big event that's hopefully going to be happening, and I will be sure to thank you all, or at least address anybody who is involved with it, when the time has come. And of course, if it didn't happen, just ignore what I have to say here. We're still dealing with kind of this juggling act as far as the host is concerned, and the fact that the Suppression Bureau keeps taking an interest as soon as we start making some progress here. We also learned that while we have seasoned the 7 graces with a couple of the required components, we do actually need one more, and I don't know if it'll be found in Fort Garrick or not, but it just gives us another really good reason to be to continue exploring the Evening Isles. So we're going to try and get as many Vagabond maps and then subsequently Port Noon anecdotes as we can, and really we're just going to continue the same rotation that we have before. It's helping us earn enough money to be able to afford those trips. And then when the time comes, I'm also going to be able to just focus entirely on painting, and that should be good for generating and preserving my mystique. But that's kind of getting ahead of myself. Let's just worry about the current priorities. We also have... okay, that Season of Suspicion is not going to apply. Again, I'm not too worried about the Season of Visions here. There's a couple of possibilities. But it's very unlikely we're going to do something to generate fascination short of the blood. So I think we should be fine. We'll very likely run into a situation where we either get a dread, or we excuse me, we either wind up with a dread, or where we get a fleeting reminiscence to address that. As long as we just don't generate any more fascination, we should be fine. So this is the point where we could start feeding Mystique into the host. Again, I wanted to take the opportunity to get the commission from Dr. Redeem. You know, in retrospect, probably I should have just been more patient and turned in with Jannings, but it's 40 seconds that we'll be losing. It's not that big of a loss. I am curious, though, what pops up here. Okay, Season of Despair. So we will be getting our fleeting reminiscence before too long, as I don't do anything too savory. Let's take our 2 Vagabond maps. So this, I believe we are guaranteed to pass now. So we need the Intuition, which will come from the Glimmering, which we just generated. And then even if we don't have the Erudition... oh, sorry, we don't even need the Erudition. We need either the Fascination, which would be a terrible decision right now, or the Library, which is not going to be otherwise occupied. All right. Back from Glover and Glover. Let's get some other commissions done. Now, if I go for Max Moth, that potentially generates Old Unhappy Far Off Things, which again might generate a Dread, which under normal circumstances wouldn't be that bad. But right now I don't really want to poke that bear, so we're going to do exactly what's required for the commission and nothing more. This is one of the rare cases where I don't want to put the max power of a commission, just because it doesn't actually have a side effect that I want yet. And I do eventually want to go back to the Peacock Door, but we need to, or Peacock Store, but I'm going to repair some of my mirrors before I go on that. We're again trying to realign all of the, all of the projects. Okay, so now we'll turn in with Jannings. We want to get those cooldowns running, and this will also buy me some time. Wisdom is a country, and these are its maps. What was requested? I received the currency of the secret world, and my patron has let tantalizing information slip. So we always get the glimmering at the time we don't exactly need it. Sorry, we're already working on that. So this will bring the host back to what we had before. And then I'll probably just turn in another commission right away and upgrade them. Although maybe I'll take the opportunity to repair a mirror with Valsine first. We'll see how it goes. What's coming up next? Season of Ambition, so that does mean we'll be getting some blood, but not at a time we're worried about it. So, and looks like we wound up with Old Unhappy Far Off Things after all, so that's a bit inconvenient for me, but we might be able to sneak past it without too much trouble. We'll see. Yeah, it's going to take 30 seconds, so we're fine. We'll go back to Glover and Glover. Again, this is really just for the money. I could probably afford to ignore it, but the longer I wait, the more locations in the evening aisles that I get. There it is. Is that it? Alright, a half-glimpse of wistfulness has touched me. So I'm still going to be working on the commissions instead of doing a painting. More names for the list, which is equal parts sacred and secret. More faces for the great night. So 17 seconds. Excuse me. I don't think I'll talk to Valsine yet. We've been able to get by without the mirrors for now. I think I'm just going to push the upgrade, especially given that we've wound up in some nasty patterns. What's up next? Season of Visions. I can live with that. Season of Despair would be a problem. And they want the library. Or erudition. A courier has arrived from our delight with a single vial of their most holy blood. Now, I can't remember when we last did this. So 238 and 332, so this is going to turn into dread as well. I do need to be a little careful here, because this now means there's two sources of dread on the table. And I need to be pretty convinced. So when I think about it, I don't really have a lot of ways of dealing with this stuff, so... This is a great way to generate fascination, which I don't exactly want to do. I mean, I guess I didn't need to put all the passion in there, but... Okay, there's my mystique. Do I want to throw this in right away? Sure, why not? So again, this wasn't really a choice so much as it was just me trying to anticipate future needs. I sort of figure I can handle one of each type of danger on the table anymore, and it's a liability. So this does mean we'll be late on the Secret Histories Commission, but we should be able to get back in the pattern there. And then the remaining question is really going to be how quickly can I get... How quickly can I get another Port Noon anecdote, or should I just try and explore with the two that I'll have? Visions abate. Okay, Season of Despair coming up, so the decision to paint away the restlessness was a good one. We do have a fascination for my efforts, but a fleeting reminiscence to get rid of it, so we'll actually spike that right away. I've got a glimmering. Contentment, yet another glimmering, yet another contentment, yet another glimmering, and absolutely no money. But I can live with that. We're wealthy enough that we can afford to do passion pieces. Alright, the host grows. More names for the list, which is equal parts sacred and secret. More faces for the great night. Now the name of the vitulation is whispered wherever mouths embrace meat. Okay, so let's get a commission from Count Jannings first. So we got 48 seconds. So the question is, what are we looking time-wise? 108. Let's It's going to be tight, but I think we can swing it. More importantly, we don't have any mystique on the table, so if it turns out there is a season of suspicion, we're going to be able to navigate around that a little bit easier. Okay, the ever-important Port Noon anecdote. Port Noon is where the long go to enjoy the sea and the sun, to drink from the spring that makes them forgotten, and to stay out of trouble. Mostly out of trouble. The stories you can hear in the Hotel Ciervo are Golden Dude quintuple distilled toasts to memory. Served straight up. Across the bright far sea, Port Noon lies. Exiles, monsters, and visionaries have long favored the waters around it. Perhaps we shouldn't get too close, but it might be useful to get close enough. So given that we're sitting on a lot of glimmering, I'm going to jump straight into doubling up the unresolved ambiguity. We will need replacement blood before too long, but... Oh, well. Samuelson provides, probably because we're actually delivering on the vigilation. Alright, I review tidy columns of figures in a tidy 5th floor room. From my office window I can see the river. My secretary brings me a hot drink every 59 minutes. The river is the color of rain. The air is curdled now. I'm home again in this lumpen flesh. Better, perhaps. Okay, so we still won't be going to the Peacock door, although that will change reasonably soon. And let's get a Secret Histories commission in. And where I can, I'm going to try and get that commission from Madame Bichet, but I need to be kind of conscious of how long it's going to take to keep the host happy. So it is 90 seconds for mirror repair. That's good to know. We might be just shy of what we need for the vigilation now that I think of it. Alright, this is the wreck of the Cristobal. Sea Beast came to love this Vestal, but when she could not return its affections, the Sea Beast crushed it. Even now, the beast will not leave the ship's corpse, bedecked as it is with occult treasures. We must dive carefully. So if we can, another Port Noon anecdote. It would be just the thing, but it is a little much to ask. So we'll see how it goes. No promises on that. Erudition or library, so this means we won't be able to take advantage of the fascination, but that's life. I think it's fair to say that we're probably just going to work with these existing locations. Okay, good work, Valcine. I'm going to delay... Yes, if I delay the host like this, then we're fine. And Season of Vision's coming up again. Finished the manuscript. So, good news here, we're going to be able to get Dr. Adim on the maintaining the host. So basically the way I'm navigating this, we've got 17 seconds left here. So 10 seconds to turn in with Dr. Adim, that will leave me 7 seconds with the host. I can then feed the mystique that I get from Dr. Adim into the host to bring it up to the next level. That will then give me the time to get a commission from Madame Bichet while I'm also working on the commission for Count Jannings. At some point I would also like to summon some creatures for the expeditions, but we do have a reasonably full group, so I don't actually need the summons. Glimmering or a Sanctuary? Happy I could make use of at least one of those. We'll probably need the erudition. Well, we might get lucky with Dr. Adim. We'll see. I'm conscious of the time on these ones, so let's just keep a close eye on it. have what the doctor requested. So, Season of Despair coming up just in time for me to have this delightful blood expire. So we are going to take that and sell it. I definitely don't need another version of the Seven Graces. The last thing I want is to split the items I'll be getting. Oh, actually, now that I think of it, we might have to go all the way to get the blood. So that Port Noon anecdote might actually be a little more necessary than I thought. This is a real shame here. We've already used up the bookshop, so we are going to have to return. Ah, well. Okay, so we've got our Mystique, so we can take the host. The host grows. More names for the list, which is equal parts sacred and secret. More faces for the great night. And let's work on our edge. So I'm feeling reasonably secure against sort of any time shifts or any problems along those lines. But I am going to have to think about how I get my last my last Port Noon anecdote. So the auction's over. The lot has gone elsewhere. I retain my funds. Okay, so this is where I should have had the library, but we didn't have the erudition in time. That's life. I may somehow get a fascination out of somewhere. That would be really terrible, but I just need to make sure that I keep the dream slot open. I'll make sure I talk with Madame Bichet for a commission before I go too crazy. Okay, so we've got 2 minutes before the host grows restless again. She's seeking pieces for the notorious Karashim Review. Season of Suspicion coming up. So, I either need to be very confident in my ability to generate Mystique, or I need to stop with the work. So we've got 46 seconds. So I think in this case we'll turn in with Jannings, and then nobody else has commission work done for the next little while. Good news is I believe once we get to the 6th level, we only need to maintain the host. So, although actually that's going to be harder to maintain than I think. That's fine. We'll still max it out. I have what was requested. I don't think this fleeting reminiscence is going to last long enough for us to... Well, it might. Alright, so another Bronze Spintrea. That'll help us with the Wildering Mirror. Again, I need to use up this Mystique before the Season of Suspicion, so we'll do that right now. Actually, you know what? I didn't think it through. Well, no, I think we only have 50 seconds. If this works, I got very lucky. Hang on, did the presence of the library allow both the erudition and the... Oh, that's really interesting. I never thought that you might be able to get both. I consume the little vial of blood, lie back, and close my eyes. Tomorrow I will be stronger. So I think it's 20 seconds before they'll snatch that Mystique out from under me. But we'll see. Alright, I'm much recovered. More than that, I'm sumptuous. The sclera of my eyes, the veins in my wrists are aswim with gorgeous serums. When the vitulation comes, I will be the centerpiece for our delight to prove their appetite, to enact the grail. So I'm going to get rid of this fascination right away. So we have 1 minute left. And Season of Sickness coming up, so we can keep throwing my health at the problem. Okay, so 4 seconds, 22 left here, so they are going to snatch out that Mystique, I think. I've increased my knowledge of the secret histories behind the one we know. Okay, that's interesting. So I just need another Vagabond's map, and we should be ready to go. I don't think upgrading the Furtive Truth is going to help me out there, so we do need to go back to the Mansis now. Yep. Well, that's unlucky, but that's life. Let's work on the Grail Commission. This may get us glimmering, but we don't have any research to do for that. I suppose the real question at this point is, do I just abandon Glover and Glover for the next little while and work with what we've been given, or do I try and push to get that last Vagabond's map? I think I'm going to try and do the Vagabond's map. But, may not turn out. Okay, we cannot stoke excitement's oven sufficiently. So let's get the commissions while we can. We have 97 seconds, so it's not fatal that we're not keeping the host happy. But as you've seen over the past few episodes, it is actually quite difficult to maintain this thing. So I don't think it hurts for me to just I know I'm going to be using the dream slot for illness anyway, so I figure at the very least we can sort of maintain for the next little while. I don't need for instance, I don't need the mirror to get repaired or anything like that. And we'll let the Suppression Bureau run by and, I don't know, deal with things as they come. So I think that's the end of our time together. I'll just let these timers run by because, I have a pretty clear idea of what we'll be doing in the next episode. We are getting close to the host being assembled, but the drawback is that until we get the 7 Graces properly seasoned, well, I guess the 7 Graces are the seasoning. Basically, until the 7 Graces are properly prepared, it doesn't really matter that we've got the host fully assembled. So at some point, I'm going to need to do a transition, that will allow us to continue exploring these areas. I don't think we'll wind up getting anything that helps me get secret histories documents, so I do still need to keep going through the Peacock Door. But I think probably after this run of the Suppression Bureau, I'll probably say, that's enough with Glover and Glover. And I think actually probably once we do actually get the 6th fragment, I think we're just going to say that's enough. We've set aside enough for these expeditions, and we'll push forward on those. We're definitely getting close to the end. All the pieces are coming into place. There's probably, I think, 3 more pieces for the vitulation proper, and it's not going to be easy. But I think they're, with maybe 2 exceptions. Well, yeah, so that's 2/3 of the exception. I have a pretty clear path on most of this. Actually, there's really only one exception where it's completely uncertain. But as always, thank you very much for watching. If you've not subscribed to the channel, do please consider doing that. It definitely helps me get noticed, as do any comments or likes. And of course, it's fair play. If you didn't like it, you can always dislike as well. But I know I'm not as interactive this particular time around, just because a lot of these have been recorded in advance. I will be back to, I usually try and record things sort of the week ahead so I can adopt any feedback. But for those of you who've been noticing maybe a lack of response to some of the things that have been written, that won't be forever. But until the next episode, have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you in the next one.